Welcome to the official YouTube channel for the Colin Cowherd podcast. Go on, hit the subscribe button. There you go, right down there. If you want to be among the first to hear my weekly takes, NFL, college football, more, right there. Dallas is strange. It's a bad running back class. And Dallas really didn't make a big swing. Now, I thought they should have gotten Derrick Henry at the trade deadline last year. I thought Pollard, to me, is a kind of an average 2. He's an off-speed pitch. Pollard's not a 1. Dallas tends to be insular. Jerry likes to validate his picks. They have always re-signed their picks to a higher level than anybody else in the league. Dallas didn't do a ton. Now, they let go of Michael Gallup. We know they're going to pay CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons and Dak a lot of money over the next 2 years. But I thought to myself, Dallas, this has been my knock on them. They'll be pretty good. But I'm saying this. Go look at Philadelphia's skill people. I mean, from the tight ends, 2 backs, 2 receivers, Jalen Hurts, a better offensive line than certainly Giants. So Saquon should succeed just because the Eagles have a better front than the Giants do and a better quarterback and weapons. So safeties can't crowd the box against the Eagles like they can against the Giants. So Saquon should be a hit. You start listing Dallas' skill people. You have a B-plus quarterback. If CeeDee Lamb twists an ankle, there is no elite players there. Like, to me, I understand in free agency you overpay, but I look at Dallas as an injury away to CeeDee Lamb as a lot of dependency on Dak.
I think they have a Dak Prescott problem, not because he's some bad player, but because of his contract situation. He has the second highest cap hit in the league behind Deshaun Watson at $60 million for this 1 year. That's taken up like 24% of their salary cap. But the problem is you could extend him and get that number way down, but are you comfortable giving him a $200 million Russell Wilson extension? If he had shown you more the last 2 years when it mattered, they wouldn't hesitate. He would already have an extension. They would have had more wiggle room, and they would have been able to sign players. I think they're a little terrified to give him a huge extent. They can say whatever they want, and Jerry never stops talking. It's entertaining. But their actions are telling you everything you know. They're at least hesitant. They may end up doing it, but they're at least for the first time thinking, like, are they going to play this year out on the $60 million contract? And just, they can't be a one-and-done team in the playoffs anymore and give this quarterback $250 million guaranteed money. Because ultimately, Dak, his last contract that he signed, how long ago, he was making $40 million. And he has statistically played a lot better since. What do you think he's asking for? At minimum, probably 4 or 5 years, couple $100 million, $200 million
Have you
guaranteed.
seen the splits? So, and I could be wrong on this. Dak has only won, I think, 9 games in his career when he has under 100 rushing yard support. I think that's the number. I did it last week on the show, and I don't have it in front of me. But there is an absolute, I mean, we have Mahomes in the Super Bowl leading the Chiefs in rushing. We have Josh Allen Lamar in big games leading the team in rushing. If Dak does not get 100 yards rushing, his winning percentage is like 35. And I think he only has 9 career wins when he has under 100 yards rushing. I think that's the number. He's very dependent. Remember, he broke into the league with a great run game and a great O-line. And he was 13-3. Yeah. And he really shocked the world. But then people get filmed, they see limitations, then he dips, then they get Amari Cooper, he goes back up. So between the O-line, Zeke, and Amari Cooper in his prime, Dak's always kind of needed elevation. Whereas a Mahomes, we know this, Mahomes elevates everybody. I mean, it's Travis Kelce playing for 80% of the quarterbacks in this league is a really good Pro Bowler. He's not Travis Kelce. He's not this. So I just look at Dallas and I'm like, you have these numbers. They're all telling, and it's a bad running back draft. I didn't get it.
Yeah, I just think they're with they've had success statistically, obviously not in the playoffs. McCarthy's not. He can say whatever he wants about I want to run the ball more. Look at his history. He likes to pass. He did it with Aaron Rodgers. He's done it with Dak Prescott. Like, I just don't think he can say whatever he wants because that's coming from Jerry. He wants to throw the ball around the yard. And we've seen Dak in these spots now in the playoffs. He's throwing it to the other team. If you put Dak with one of the Shanahan guys where run first, LaFleur or Kyle, and took the pressure off him, he would be much better situated. But McCarthy, because all of his success, the way I think he fundamentally views offensive football, spread it out and throw it around. And Dak, like you said, he's not only not Mahomes, he's not Josh Allen. He can't do like physically with Justin Herbert. He is much better to be a balanced quarterback. That's most guys. There's 2 or 3 guys that you feel good. Even Trevor Lawrence, more than likely, he's going to need some help. He's not going to be able to carry it, it turns out.
Think about what the rookie quarterback, think of what Sam Darnold is inheriting in Minnesota. An elite running back, an elite left tackle, the number 1 receiver, Jordan Addison a 2, Hawkinson tight end, and a really clever offensive coach. Sam Darnold, I think this year, if he stays healthy and they're kind of patient with him and they watch J.J. McCarthy, Sam Darnold could end up, not because he's brilliant, but he's got one of the best. I mean, if we ranked left tackle, star receiver, 2 receiver, tight end, running back,
they'd be up there.
Top 60. Sam Darnold's going to do a Baker. You're going to look up and go, Minnesota's in the playoffs. Not because Baker's great, although Baker's always had talent. Sam's had talent. But I think Darnold has a chance to be the Baker story next year. There's just too many good players here. I look at Dak and I think to myself, Green Bay's young and good. Detroit's young and good. Here comes Minnesota, San Francisco, Rams, Saquon Eagles. My gut is in an offensive league, Dallas doesn't have enough punch. If I told you CeeDee Lamb week 8 goes down for a month and a half, this is not a playoff team.
Yeah, we'll see maybe they draft a wide receiver high, but sometimes you hit on them and they become Zay Flowers, and sometimes they become Jalen Reagor, right? Or the dude the Chargers took. So it's a 50-50 coin flip. Ferguson, the tight end's pretty damn good.
Yeah, he is.
But I'm with you. I mean, they are very, very dependent, and he's really on the 2 guys. And this is why financially, I wasn't shocked at all when they signed nobody. Dak takes 23%. They're paying DeMarcus Lawrence a ton. They got to pay CeeDee. They got to pay Micah Parsons. No one takes care of his own guys that he drafts like Jerry Jones. I mean, if they had space, people would be lined up to go there, but they never have any space because he's overpaid. Now, luckily, he's drafted pretty well. So a lot of Zach Martins and CeeDee Lambs, and you feel pretty good about a lot of Micah Parsons. But you make a wrong decision on Zeke, or all of a sudden you not only have no cap, you're missing, you don't have as many good players as you should. And now they lose Dan Quinn. Now they get Mike Zimmer, but I'd say Dan's a little more positive. Mike's a little more old school negative. I get why Jerry likes him because he was there in the heyday with Dion, but that's something to keep an eye on. Him and Vic, right? They're 2 of, I would put them just on a game-to-game basis. Defense. No one knows more defensive football now that Belichick's out of the league than those 2 guys. For this new generation, they're old school. They're a lot to handle for these 23-year-old kids. Unless you're coming from Nick Saban or Kirby, some of these guys are like, what the hell is this? So it's a lot.
It is a lot. All right, free agency talk. John Middlekauff, former NFL scout. His podcast is 3 and Out. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back. We may take a couple of weeks break here to give John some time off. We'll see what transpires in the NFL. But free agency's over. I guess we're going to start moving into the draft. Hell, it's the NFL. There are no off weeks. I mean,
it's never.
June is about it. NBA talk 3 weeks in June, and then we're back to work. As always, buddy, good seeing you.